When you think of suburban neighborhoods, you think perfection. The first images that come to mind are those of beautiful homes with perfectly manicured lawns, children riding shiny bicycles, lemonade stands, and housewives mingling amongst one another. Of course, this mingling is only occurring when they are not preparing a delicious spread for their husband's 5:30 arrival home from the office, or baking a scrumptious pie to deliver to the newest neighbor. And of course that's understandable with the way the neighborhood has been portrayed in the media. But beware, the second you sign that bill of sale and unlock the door to your new home with that shiny brass key, your life as you know it is over. You have now entered the world of sin and secrecy that is the neighborhood. I'm sure most of you think that I'm probably exaggerating. Well, you're wrong. I can guarantee you by the time you pull into the driveway of your new home and before you even get out of the car, there will have been at least half a dozen neighbors peering from behind their custom-tailored curtains at the sight of the moving truck. Why? Because ever since sold replaced for sale on the sign on the front lawn, they have been making speculations, itching for any sight of their newest neighbors, or should I say, prospective cult members. By the end of the first week in your house, the refrigerator will be filled with recipes bestowed upon you by your new neighbors. Mrs. O'Brien across the street will deliver her famous quiche first. There will be a Jell-O mold from Betty, a chocolate truffle from the Delaney's 3 doors down, and of course the lasagna from the backyard neighbors, the Smiths. Not to mention, multiple plates of cookies and brownies will line your countertops, all from neighbors whose names you can't retain, perhaps because their recipes were irrelevant in comparison to those of the others. Do not be fooled by these supposed gracious gestures and warm welcomes by all your seemingly pleasant neighbors. These gifts were merely a rite of passage for them to enter your home, for them to be able to criticize amongst one another about the color schemes you chose, how your furniture was from IKEA and not Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn, or the fact that your husband is an agent at a local independent broker firm and not the bigwig at the largest corporation in the city. These neighbors will thrive off of you for weeks. You are their most vulnerable source of gossip and will continue to be so for the entirety of your neighborhood career. Those of you who are naive will undoubtedly fall into the trap of the neighborhood cult first. And for the rest of the masses, it is almost inevitable that you too will be conned into the cult, becoming intermingled into the tragic mess of sin and secrecy. It is only a matter of time before you become the one gawking out the window at the mover's truck. Your credit card will soon be maxed out by the replacement furniture you bought last week at Crate and Barrel to replace the furniture you sold at your last yard sale. At the bus stop, you no longer will become mortified when someone suggests that mysterious car that was parked overnight next door is that of Mrs. Ferrer's mysterious lover. In fact, the majority of these conversations will be initiated by yourself. Naturally, as the lowest ranked cult member, you've got to prove yourself worthy of being the baddest on the block. What better way to do so than devote all that free time you have to spying on the neighbors and providing the juiciest neighborhood gossip. World news will have no relevance to you whatsoever anymore. In fact, your neighborhood will become your world, and you will be more than willing to broadcast all of its news to anyone and everyone, whether or not they're willing to listen to you. So when the time rolls around and you decide to purchase what may become your greatest investment, think twice before you sign that bill of sale. before you purchase your first home in that dream nightmare, because trust me, you're signing your life off to turn into a nightmare.